Hey, good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. I should make sure that my microphone is working because I recorded. No. Bruh. Haunted. Okay, good. Make sure my microphone is recording. That'd be cooked if I. Okay, bye, Steve. Um, it's November 4th, 2025. It's Tuesday. It's our day off from work, so I'm recording this pretty late. It has been a really damn decent day so far. I went grocery shopping, so I'm like bussing. Today, all the goals: brush teeth, make a morning video log, make recovery video logs. Need to go vote for my local election. November 4th is like the city council mayoral elections in most cities. Work on some video log descriptions. I have a trash loop, which is like take all the trash down from the stairs, bring the bins to the curb, and what is it called? Take out the apartment trash, like I have to clean up my room trash, then take out the apartment trashes, then take out the downstairs trashes. Like it's the trash loop, right? And then go to Costco, and then take my mom to work so we could use her car this morning. I did do that, and then upload video logs. I have two to upload, which I think I have descriptions for. In other news, today the federal government hit 35 days on the shutdown, which means this is officially the longest government shutdown in American history. So, not surprising. Yeah, 10.9 and 10.10 need uploaded. What was that? Thought I opened a new page. Okay. Yeah, 10.9 and 10.10 need uploaded. I have descriptions for both. Couldn't really find the timestamp for that one, but I'm able to upload both of those. So I need to make more video logs. I have the descriptions for 11, 12, 13. 14's already recorded. So I need to do 11, 12, and 13 of October. And then I'm good for a minute. Need to make a couple more video log descriptions. And then literally so many recovery video logs to make in the last week, 2 weeks. Which is, I think there's the whole last week. So Sunday to Sunday last week, as well as Saturday and Friday. Because we left on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're all extremely busy. And then Wednesday we got home, had to do stuff. My cat got put down. My cat. Our cat, the house cat, got put down. And then I kind of like wrote in all the stuff we did on the other days. So I think I don't. Gosh, I hate when I don't do video logs on Sundays and Saturdays because I don't write down what I do on the day. Like it's literally just like in goals, right? But it'll be fine. I made one for last night. I'm getting back on the horse. Let me do 11.4. Write this out. I highlighted this. This is good to go. This will still need recorded. Morning. Oh, don't want this. I'll write this later. But yeah, longest government shutdown in American history. I still need to go vote. We did our Costco shopping. I spent all morning sleeping. I had a sequel dream, which was sick, dude. Sequel dream about it was like this psychic dream that I had once, and it was like super back rooms ish with psychic abilities, and had a sequel to it that I got woken up in the middle of, and I was like, no, it was so cool. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. Other than that, we went shopping today, got gas for the car, dropped off some food at Summer's house, and then I have steaks prepping downstairs that I thawed out on Sunday or Saturday night, and then we're getting made on Tuesday, so they've been in the fridge and stuff. But yeah, I was like, I think today's probably the last day where I'd be like, okay, these are good to eat still. Like another day, and I've been like, so making them. We don't have any like vegetables or anything to go with it. It's just gonna be like, Ava's just gonna have to deal. So making those for her. They're dry brining right now, and then yeah, that's pretty much all we've done for the day. Gonna go out and vote. I'm waiting to see if my mom needs a ride home from work. Corey just got back from his walk, and then I was talking to Ava earlier. So I biked to work yesterday, and kind of had this like thought of I was like running while we were out shopping, like running into Winco, running out of Costco. I just felt really good. Like I felt really good, and I was just like, I think it's about time. Like I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, like I'm not big by any means. Like I'm not fat. But I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, I think I should start working out, like really, really working out, and I think I'm finally kind of at that point. So I'm gonna start doing that, like late night runs, stuff like that. I think that'll be really fun. I had one other thing to talk about. I watched this 6 minute. It was like a what's it called? Like a podcast clip, and essentially these guys are talking about Zohran Mamdani, who's getting very, very likely by all polls voted in as New York mayor today. They're talking about Zohran Mamdani. I don't care what you think about his politics. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Whether you agree they're going to work, agree they're going to fail, disagree with him as a person, whatever. It doesn't matter. They went into his background and his religion and his parents' background and his work history and touched on how he markets. And there was one other thing he did that I didn't. There was one other thing. It's his name. Yeah, they talked about his middle name. I'm sitting here going, America is literally at its base, like the foundation of America is meant to be. You are able to have opportunity, no matter who you are, what your religion is, what your race is, what your background is, or what your parents did. That's the base of America. Like, that's the whole thing, right? Like, that's America's shtick. And we've swung really far right and really anti-America recently. Like, very anti-America. The identity of America has changed severely, right? Like, my grandpa would be 113 this year. He came to America with his parents. Like, he came to America before citizenship paperwork was like a thing, right? Like, he was just in America. His parents didn't speak English. They were Germans, right? So we settle in Idaho. He ends up having this dairy farm, right? Like, he's a dairy farmer. He delivers milk. That's his thing. It doesn't matter that his parents were German immigrants. It doesn't matter that they didn't speak a single word of English outside of their kids' names. Like, it doesn't matter, right? And so he ends up becoming successful, having a family, being a baby boomer, or I think he's actually generation born in 1912. Silent generation? 19... The greatest generation. So he's older than the silent generation. He was a greatest generation member. He worked like crazy. Like, he was an immigrant. He worked like crazy. He made a name for himself. He lived through the Great Depression, lived through World War II, had a family, grew up, all this stuff. It is insane to me. Insane that we went from within 113 years from German kid can come over and start a dairy to, hey, all these dairy people need to get the out. And it's just like, why are you talking about a political candidate's name, parents' background, work history, religion? Those are the least important things about what they're going to do. The number one thing that people want in a politician is no corruption. If you are just not corrupt, oh my God, if you're just not lining your personal coffers with billionaire donations, oh my God, we want you, dude. Like, that's all we want. It is so easy. The bar is so low, and people are still going, I'd rather have a corrupt Democrat than a radical left socialist. Dude, come the fuck on. What are you talking about? And it's obviously Islamophobia. Like, it's so clear that it's Islamophobia. It's not even like a oh maybe. It's, why are you talking about his religion? You're not talking about Cuomo's religion. You're not talking about Sliwa's religion. You're not talking about your local mayor's religion. If they're Christian, it doesn't matter. If they're Muslim, they're jihadi. Like, it doesn't actually matter. And so I basically commented and was like, if I had a nickel for every time a distasteful joke was told and then apologized for, I would have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Just trying to be goofy, right? Like, there was one joke that was like poorly delivered, poorly landed, and they apologized for it. Then there was another joke by this bald dude who was a really funny. They were like, they called him like a 12er jihad, not a 12er Muslim, I think it was. 12er Muslim. I want to find the exact 12er Shia. 12er Shia is like what they call them. And they're like, oh, it's a 12-step program into Islam. And the dude's like, step 1, jihad. And everyone laughs. Like, that's funny, bro. That was a really funny joke. And then at the end of it, they apologize. why are you apologizing for a joke? So part of the comment is like this, right? And then it's, you didn't talk about anything you actually believed in. Like, if you're gonna make a joke, make it a joke. Don't make it an offhanded comment that needs to be apologized for. Like, why are you apologizing? And I was like, it's clear none of you did even basic research into the topic at hand. You mentioned nothing of his policy, nothing of his message, nothing of his appeal, literally nothing of substance. Like, what is the point of talking about him if you're just talking about who he is as a person, not who he is as a leader? Like, you look into George Washington's personal life, he wasn't a stand-up guy, but he was the first and only nonpartisan president. That is amazing in today's modern era. That is incredible. But if you went on and talked about how he had whale teeth, how he was some like British immigrant, how he was a failed general for the beginning parts of the war, like, you would think George Washington is shit. You would think that. Like, that's just how you would think. But to talk about Zohran Mamdani and make it all about religion, his parents, blah blah blah, that's stupid. And the guy who was actually funny, he comments on his own personal thing. He goes, "If you find these jokes distasteful, I guess we're not for you, my man. We are from the West, so apologizing is what we do out here." I'm from the West too. I like to think I make funny jokes all the time. Your joke, this is the only person who told a funny joke. Why is he apologizing? And I'm like, dude, you're like, why are you apologizing? Why are you defending the apology to me? You didn't apologize. You made the only funny joke. Like, you are good. It's your friend who apologized for you that it's like, why are you sorry he's funny? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, this is a run-on morning video log. I just wanted to talk about that. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tonight. Peace.
One eternity later.
Hey, good evening, everyone. This will be a recovery video log for November 4th, 2025, and it was a packed day. So, typically November 4th is a pretty common day, actually, for, like, local voting elections. So, I did vote today. That was pretty cool. Pretty interesting. All the goals for today were make a morning video log. Did do that. Make recovery video logs. Did not. Vote. Did do that. Do my trash loop because it's Tuesday and trash goes out. And then go to Costco, take my mom to work in the morning, and then upload some video logs. So everything got done except for the recovery video logs. But woke up, took my mom to work, played some video games when I got home, and then slept until like 1:30. And then got up, got dressed, and then Ava and I headed to the store. So we went to Winco, we went to Costco. I got some Costco gas for the first time, and it was interesting. The Costco pumps in Idaho, gas pumps, don't have like the stopper, like the push stopper, except at Costco. So I had to like push the thing in and click the thing, and I was like, this is just weird. Like, just give me the regular nozzle. But yeah, we went shopping at Costco, and we got some extra food because SNAP didn't pay out because the government shut down. So we got some extra food to like bring over to Summer and Daniel because they didn't get their SNAP this month, and then brought their stuff over there afterwards, and then unloaded the groceries when I got home. Then I made my video log, and I talk about Zohran Mamdani, my local election, and a podcast clip I saw back and forth. I also mentioned that we broke the record for the longest government shutdown to date, which is interesting. Which is very interesting. Donald Trump gotta be fuming, bro. But after that, I made Ava some steak, and right after I cooked it, I called her down upstairs. She was upstairs. I was downstairs. Called her and was like, "Yeah, it's ready." And then I went over and talked to my neighbor for a bit, and we talked a bit about like the political candidates, and I was like, "Who'd you vote for?" And I asked it pretty offhandedly, and he goes, "That's a pretty personal question, don't you think?" No, actually, I didn't think that, Farron. I didn't think that at all. I actually not once did I think asking who you voted for was a personal question. That's actually really interesting. And I was like, I had no idea that would be a personal question. And based on like the conversation we had, we voted for like the same people. But yeah, that spawned a really interesting thought for me. So I'll talk about that later. But after that, I went home. I saw my cat Skips. So I'm talking at my neighbor's house. Skips runs across the street, and I'm like, "Come here, buddy." Give him a little pet, whatever. And I see him spray for the first time in my life. Like, he, like, walks over to a bush, turns around, and, like, starts shaking his butt. And I was just like, what is he doing? And he was like, I just spraying the bush. I have never seen my cat spray until right then. That was crazy. Never in my life have I seen that cat spray. That was crazy. And so I was like, that. So I just had to mention that. But yeah, got home, did the dishes for my steak, and Ava and I, like, talked to my mom for a little while. And then after that, I went upstairs and texted my boy Isaac, and I was like, yo, you vote? And he was like, nah, I'm going to vote tomorrow. And I was like, no, you're not. You can't do that. And I was like, you want to go vote now? And he was like, sure, dude, let's do it. So he even picked me up and, like, drove me over to the voting place. And we were super late night. Like, it's like, let me see what time it was. I want to say it was like 6. Yeah, 6:15 we left. And so we go in and vote. And they were, like, running down, I'll say. The energy was running down. So I, like, put my vote in, whatever. And we're, like, talking with the lady. She, like, shows me a book she's reading. He has to register to vote, so he gets all registered, and then we go and vote, and we leave. And I was like, oh, you don't have to drive me home. I'll just walk. Like, I got to stop at Albertsons and pick up some stuff. So stop at Albertsons, and I pick up, like, some Powerade for Ava because she wasn't feeling great. And then I picked up some, like, what are they called? Not donuts, cupcakes. I took some cupcakes that I owed Ava because I threw away new ones, apparently. Whatever. And then on the way home, I was, like, walking, and I was like, oh, my God. I need to call my boy Jared to congratulate him. He had a baby, right? So I call him, and he was just like, oh, what's up, dude? And he's like, oh, I'm actually glad you called me. Like, I lost your number. And I was like, ah, sick, dude. Keep it. Yeah, cool. Good to see you, bro. And we had, like, a great talk. He's, like, having a baby soon. And it also kind of spawned because I had a dream about him. Like, coming to Caldwell. And, like, being here. And, like, we, like, met outside Costco in Nampa, and we went to Barnes and Noble in Boise, and he was there. And I mean, like, the dream was literally just like everywhere I went, Jared was there. I was like, bro, what is happening? And so I called him on the walk home, and I was like, yeah, man, like, I wanted to reach out, congratulate you about the baby. Like, I saw it on Facebook, and, like, had a dream about it, so I wanted to talk. And then he was at work, but he's a dishwasher. So he was, like, on the phone with me, and we talked about life. We talked about, like, his feelings about having a baby. We talked about, like, all this stuff. It was super cool. And then I got home and dropped off the Powerade and stuff. Brought one to Ava, and then I talked outside with him on the porch for, like, another, like, 30 minutes. And I mean, we talked about political ideology. Like, he used to be a self-proclaimed, like, anarchist, and then we talked about, like, we talked about communism, and he was like, dude, anyone who disses on communism has never read the Communist Manifesto. I'm like, yeah, bro. They don't want people to read it. I mean, it's a hard read. I will say it's a hard read for someone who is not, like, I'll say politically engaged. It like, economically engaged. I'll say that. It's interesting, for sure. But, we talked a lot, and then he had to let go for work, and I was like, okay, I'll let you go, whatever. So I go inside, and my mom is like, have you seen the house video? And I was like, what is the house video? And she shows me this video of, it's called, like, This Strange House, or This Weird House, or This Interesting House, or something. And it's basically this realtor going through and touring my mom's childhood home. And it is an interesting house. It's really an interesting house. Um, Basically, like, my grandfather, biologically, like, biological grandfather, essentially built the house. Like, paid for all of it, got it all built, whatever. And my mom was raised there, right? And so she's talking about all her memories and stuff. And one of the comments on the video, or no, not one of the comments, she reached out to these people, like this realtor, when the house was for sale, and was like, hey, I saw your walk through the house, and, like, one of the things is, like, interesting stuff about the house. And she goes, I don't know if you know this, when you open up this one cabinet, if you push the wall in, there's another cabinet. And in the video, he references it, and he's like, we actually found out just recently, that's from someone who used to live here, that this existed. And he, like, shows off the cabinet, and she's like, that was me. So cool. And he's just, like, touring this old house, right? And there's one 90-degree angle in the entire house. One. And it's in a closet. And so there's like the corner of a closet, 190-degree angle, right? And there's just like tons of shelf space. There's tons of just, it's so interesting. Tons of like I would call it retro, like 50s and 60s technology in the house. The floors are heated. And then so there's this, the house is in front of this massive freeway and overpass. So there's freeway that was installed, and then there's an overpass that was installed later. My grandpa, during the demolition of, for the construction of the freeway, they were demolishing like the area to build the freeway through. He took rocks from the demolition and used them to add on walls to the property. What in the fucking freedom is that, dude? That's crazy. So I'm like watching this video with my mom, just like, this is crazy cool. Like, this is so sick. Like, it was so interesting. And then I was like, this is the coolest thing, dude. This is so sick. God, I couldn't get over it. But yeah, it was really, really, really cool. Um goodness. Trying to think if there's anything else. I like left a big comment on the video. It was basically like, this is my mom's shop at home. This is stuff she said during this video. It was interesting. Um by the end of it, she was like, that's so cool. And she said she'd need me for 10 minutes. I was there for like 35 minutes. But after that, Ava called me upstairs because Hazbin Hotel has new episodes. So season 2 of Hazbin Hotel is starting. And so we watched the first 2 episodes, and episodes are released on Wednesdays, which is tomorrow. So we watched the first 2 episodes of the second season. It was awesome. And then after that, I went for a run, and it was like a nice like nighttime run. It was super cold. I bit a little bit more than I could chew. Long ass run turned into a walk, and thought of a new video idea to make, and I was like, that might actually be like a good concept called truth versus reality. And I haven't made it yet, but I thought it might be interesting. And then by the time I got home, I was like wearing this shirt, I think it was, and I like took it off, and I was like super warm, right? Like, I'm running hot, my skin is freezing. So I like went to let Ava know I was home, and she was like, "Oh, come give me a hug," and I was like, "You don't want that. Like, I'm freezing." And so I like leaned into her, and she like had her just laying down. Right when my torso touched like her calf, she was just like, "Oh my god, you're cold. Get away." I was like, "I told you, bro. I told you." It was really funny. And then yeah. So after the run, the New York City mayoral election was called, and so I watched some news about that, and I watched like Zohran Mamdani's like acceptance speech, victory speech, whatever you want to call it, and then decided to eat some McDonald's for a late night dinner, and it was so cool to like see Zohran win, right? And then our mayoral election was also called. I think Zohran won with 52% of the votes. Our mayor won with 58% of the votes, which is crazy. And then yeah, it was a really, really, really solid day all around. But I wanted to talk more, and this would be my daily thought, about talking to my neighbor earlier when I asked like who he voted for in the local election, and he hit me with the, that's a bit of a personal question, don't you think? Truthfully, I didn't think that. I did not think asking who someone voted for was at all personal. Honestly, I really, really didn't. And you know, I'm sure someone out there would think that that's like a sign of the breakdown of a society or something. Like when people are just asking who other people voted for or whatever. I don't. I think we put too much mental importance on the individualism of what we believe defines us. That might be able. I believe we put too much importance on the idea we have about what we believe defines us. Who you voted for doesn't really matter. Like, let's be completely honest. Who you voted for doesn't matter. Let's just say that. Like, the political system is so screwed that it doesn't really matter who you vote for, alright? Another thing that I've never understood is people believe this to be a very personal question. How much money do you have? Ooh, whoa, that's a little personal, don't you think? No, actually, I don't think. I don't think that's personal at all. Why do you think it's personal? Do you think it's personal because you have very little and are insecure about the amount you have, or how you might be perceived if we know the amount you have? Or would we think it's weird that you have that much money and you're worried about how you'll be perceived for how much money you have? Or do you have such a colossal amount of debt because the amount of assets you have allows you to leverage to have that amount of debt? So you might be worried about how you perceive, or so you might be worried about how you are perceived for having that much money. I don't think it's personal at all to ask someone how much money it is. I think it's actually really important to talk about how much money you have with people. Call me radical, call this a hot take. If people don't know how much money you have, they have nothing to compare themselves against. When we hear the stats, 75% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. What that means is at the end of the month, 75% of Americans have $0 or less. So when I ask someone how much money do they have, and it's October 29th, there is a 1 in 4 chance that it's not 0 or less. Okay? So why are we worried about how much money we have? If you have more than 0 or less, you're doing pretty all right. All right? Let's just say that. You're doing all right. I don't understand how that's personal. Right? And I know this started as like a who you voted for is personal. I have never understood why telling someone how much money you have is a personal question. Never once. And I'm talking about actual cash on hand, not assets. I don't give a fuck how many assets you own, boy. I don't give a damn. I care about how much money you have on hand. I care about how much cash you have. Why do you have that much cash? And why were you so hesitant to share? Are you worried about how people are going to perceive you because you have that much cash? I'll tell you all right now. It is Tuesday, November 4th. I don't even got rent covered. Yet. I'm waiting for this weekend. So, my cash is negative at the start of the month. Because I got to wait for this weekend to pay my rent. So, I'm under my rent, right? I'm sure the IRS is going to watch my videos and go, this man is not paying whatever. Someone isn't writing down they're receiving money. Whatever. Don't care. Screw you, IRS. Let regular people commit tax evasion for once. God. Billionaires do it all the time. But me in Idaho, get him. No. Anyways, I think it's so ridiculous that people have this personal concept to how much money they have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It means nothing. It literally means nothing. Money means nothing. If you've ever played a Civilization game where everything becomes hyper optimized, money means nothing. There's no point in having money. When you get to more than $1 billion, money loses all value. There's no concept of money. Money literally is air. It means nothing to you. And it's so weird that people aren't willing to talk about how much money they have. If we aren't on the same page about how much money we have and what it means to us, we are never going to be on the same page. If you're not clear about the money you have and I'm not clear about the money I have, how are we going to understand that we're both proletariats? If you don't know what that is, Google it. Proletariat. Proletariat. I forgot how to spell it. Proletariat. Let's get back in the video. Proletariat. We are not going to understand that we're both proletariats. We are going to have a conversation, assume that we are different people from different perspectives, and understand that. But we're not going to feel connected as we should and understanding that we're both proletariats, okay? It is so important to talk about how much money you have, and that cannot be understated. So, I just wanted to talk about that. I don't think that these questions that we take personally have any actual importance. Like, we're asking for the opinion of concepts. Or we're asking for, like, what is your conceptual value? And you're taking it as your intrinsic value. And worried about how you'll be perceived based on conceptual value. It means nothing. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And it's Tuesday. Hope you all had a wonderful Tuesday. And I will see you on Wednesday. Have a good night. Peace.